Previously, on the Forgotten Flutter show, we saw that Dart is an object-oriented language and follows concepts of object-oriented programming. We also discussed about variables which can be used to store information to be used later in the program. Finally, we discussed the different data types that are supported by Dart. So in this part of the episode, we are going to talk about functions in Dart. Consider a robot which can perform household chores. It can perform these kind of tasks. It can make breakfast, do cleaning, do dishes, do laundry, and etc. Now imagine you have to give these instructions to the robot one by one every day. It would be a tedious task. But what if you group these tasks together and give it a name, household chores? Now you just have to pass this list of chores to the robot every day instead of giving the instructions one by one. That would be much easier, right? This is nothing but functions. A function is nothing but a group of statements that together perform a task. Functions are of two types, parameterized and non-parameterized, depending on whether they take inputs or not. Let's go back to Dartpad and write some functions. So here I am back in Dartpad and you can see the main function. Every Dart program has at least one function and that is the main function. You all know that by this time, right? So I'm going to write another function which is going to say hello. So let me write the function void say hello, and then inside the curly braces I am going to write print hello Vishal. And once I write this function, I'm going to call this function from the main method here. So I will just write say hello with opening and closing brackets and a semicolon. And if I run this program, just a second, I just forgot a semicolon over here. Again, I'm going to run this and I see hello Vishal written in the console. So let's first see the structure of a function. So to write a function, we mention its return type, that is the type of value that the function is going to return after performing certain operations. Then we have the function name, in this case it's say hello, followed by two opening and closing parentheses. We will come to that in a bit and I will tell you about why do we have this parenthesis. And then we have this opening and closing curly braces within which we write the statements to be executed inside the function. So now that you know the structure, let's see the working of this program. We all know that Dart programs start with the main function. Inside the main function, it is going to call say hello. After the function is called, the program counter is going to find the function say hello and it is going to execute the statements within the say hello function. Once it executes all the statements inside the say hello function, it is going to return back to the main function and then execute rest of the statements in the main function. So let's write one more statement over here, that is print end of the program. And I will copy the same thing and paste it above the say hello function, or I would say hello call, and I would write start of the program. And if I run this, you can see that in the main function it first prints start of the program, it calls say hello, the program counter goes to the 8th line, executes all the lines in the say hello function, comes back to the main function and prints end of the program. That's what is happening over here. Okay, but what if I want to display something else over here? Let's say I want to display some other person's name based on whatever we pass it in the function over here. So there comes the parameterized functions. The one that we are using here is a non-parameterized function because we don't have any parameters or inputs to this function. So in parameterized functions, we will have a string name as a parameter and we put parameters inside the round brackets. It can have any number of parameters. So let's say name and let's say last name, that is also going to be a string. So you mention the data type of the parameter along with the name. And now inside the print function, I'm going to use $name and $last name. So what is going to happen over here is we are going to pass the name and last name in this function call over here. My name is Vishal and my last name is Pednekar. So two parameters, two inputs, fine. So Vishal is going to be stored in the name variable, Pednekar is going to be stored in the last name variable, and while printing the statement, the name and last name is going to plug into the string. So let's run this program and see the output. And now it says hello Vishal Pednekar. Let's have another function that returns some value. So I'm going to write another function which is void add, and that is going to add three numbers. So first number is a double A, double B and double C. Why double? Because this is also going to handle floating point numbers like 3.14, 4.16, 24.3 and also integers like 10, 20, 30. So the double data type can handle integers as well. And I'm going to just simply return A plus B plus C. To return a value from the function, we use the return statement. It is showing me an error over here. That's because the data type I have defined here is void. That means the function should technically return nothing, but in this case we are returning a double data type. That's because addition of all three doubles is also going to be a double. So instead of void, I just need to change it to double. Okay, and instead of say hello, I'm going to write add, and I'm going to pass three numbers. Let's say 3.14, then 10, let's say 20. So the addition should be 20 plus 10, 30 plus 3.14, that is going to be 33.14. Also, returning a value does not mean it will appear on the console. Just check this out. So as you can see, the program has started, it executed the add function, returned the value back over here, and then it was the end of the program. But you cannot see that in the console. Why? Because we did not print it. It's not like the function has not run. So just to clarify that, I'm going to print another string over here, that is add function is running. And now you can see that there is this statement getting printed over here, that is add function is running, but it is not printing the output. So what do we do to get the output? We will wrap this add function over here inside a print statement, and that is going to print the result. That's 33.14. So what's happening over here is, inside the main function we are running the start of the program, then we are running the add function. Add function is going inside the add block. It is going to run this particular print function, that is add function is running. Then it is going to calculate a plus b plus c, and whatever the result is, it is going to return back over here in line number 3. The print function is going to take that result and then print it to the console, and then finally it is going to print end of the program. That's how functions work. Another category of functions is anonymous function. So what are anonymous functions? This is your normal function. It has a return type, it has a name, followed by some lines of code inside the curly braces. When you remove the name of the function, it is going to be anonymous function. The best example of anonymous function that you can see in Dart and Flutter is when it is used in onPress property of the elevated button or text button or icon button. So here you can see it has no name, it just has this round brackets followed by curly braces and some lines of code. Anonymous functions can also have parameters, like in this property error builder of the image.network, we have three parameters going inside the anonymous function, that is the context, error and stack. Also, anonymous functions are capable to return some values to the function caller. That wraps it all for this episode. Subscribe to the Forgotten Programmer for more such videos and give it a thumbs up if you really like this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next.